Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's session. Today we will go for Chemistry Paper 2, Version 1, 2025, May, June. Let's go. First question. A gas is placed in a sealed container with a fixed volume. The gas is heated. So when it's heated, they will move faster. Yes, they will gain kinetic energy. It will collide with the walls more frequently. Yes, because they're faster, so they will heat more frequently. And then the pressure decrease. Wrong. When they heat wall of the container more frequently, then the pressure will increase. Answer is A. A sample of ethanol is heated at a constant rate. The heating curve for the sample is shown. Which statement about the heating curve is correct? It says change physical state between 3 and 4. No. In this situation, it's the same state. Change physical state always happen when it's horizontal. So it will change from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. B. Ethanol condense between 2 to 3. 2 to 3 from solid to liquid is not condensation, it's melting. So it's wrong. C. Energy is absorbed between 3 and 4, but not absorbed during 4 and 5. Both situations they absorb, just energy at this region they absorb to make the particles can gain more kinetic energy. When it's here, the energy is absorbed to overcome the attraction forces between particles. So wrong. D. More energy is absorbed between 4 and 5 than between 2 and 3. So between 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, can you see here the time is lesser, the time here is more. So the time more means that more energy is absorbed in 4 and 5. So answer is D. Number 3, which atom has an equal number of proton, neutron, and electron? So we can refer back to the periodic table at the back. We found that argon we have 18 proton. So proton, neutron, electron, 18, 18. So here is 22. So that sum up is 40. And then here is 1 proton, 1 electron, but no neutron. Sodium have 11 proton, means 11 electron. The balance 12 would be neutron. And then here we have 7 proton, 7 electron, and 7 neutron. So answer is D. Number 4. The only naturally occurring isotopes in sample europium is this and this. The sample of europium have relative atomic mass of 152. So we know it's just nice in between. We know it's 50%, 50%. So answer is B. Or if you want to apply the calculation, you can use this. So we assume 151 we have X. 153 is 100 minus X. So we use this. So we can also use a calculation to double confirm. Question number 5. Which statement about potassium chloride is correct? So obviously it is ionic bond. It says it has high melting point, correct, because it's giant structure with strong covalent bond is wrong, it's ionic bond. B. It conducts electricity when solid. No. When it's in solid, all ions are on the fixed position. And they do not have freely moving electron. That's why they cannot conduct electricity when solid. C. It conducts electricity when molten because its ion can move. Yes, when it's molten, it's freely moving, then it can bring electricity. D. It is insoluble in water because it's strong bonding. No, usually ionic is soluble in water. 6. Which dot and cross diagram shows the outer shell electron arrangement in a molecule of nitrogen? So nitrogen, we know it is group 5. Group 5 means that it needs 3 more electrons. So it will share out 3 electrons. And the balance 2 we put here. And then another nitrogen still the same. 2 we put here. And then 3 more they share. Here, correct, correct, wrong, wrong. Then here is wrong because they do not put the 2 electron here. This is like nitrogen is group 3, which is strong. So like this, group 5 is correct. So it's B. The nitrogen have how many outermost shell electron? You can refer back to the periodic table. It's group 5. Question 7. Which statement about silicon oxide is correct? So silicon oxide is a giant covalent structure. Will be like this. Part A, it says it contains silicon ion and oxide ions, so not ions because it's a covalent structure. 7B says it is used in electrical circuit because it can conduct electricity. No, the covalent structure that can conduct electricity, we say it as graphite because it has freely moving electron, but it's not in silicon oxide. C, its bond each contain one shared pair of electron. Yes, because all of the bond here are single bond, no double bond, no triple bond. D, its atoms are arranged in the same way as atom in graphite. No, graphite is in 2D shape, but silicon oxides will form 3D structure. So this 2D shaped graphite will have freely moving electron layers, so it can conduct electricity. So it's different. Answer is C. Number 8. 3 organic molecules are described. The molecular formula of propanolic acid is this, lactic acid is this. Glucose molecule contain of 6 carbon, 6 oxygen, 12 hydrogen. Which molecule have the same empirical formula? So we know this one is this. So here we have 1, 2, 3. H we have 6 O2. So this thing we cannot divide further. So for this we have O we have 3. So this thing we can further divide by 3 will become CH2O. So these two are the same empirical formula. D. 9. Calcium carbonate react with dilute hydrochloric acid. So this is the equation. They say 1 gram of calcium carbonate is added to this amount of HCl. Which volume of carbon dioxide is made in this reaction? So we need to find the number of mole to compare how many mole of CO2 will be released. We check CaCO3 first. The mass for calcium carbonate is 40, 1C and 3O. So it will become 0.01 mole. For HCl is 0.0025. So we can confirm this is the limiting factor because we have lesser number of HCl. So we cannot use this 0.1 mole as reference because this is in excess. Because the ratio of it is 1 to 2. So if this is 2, this would be 0.00125 only. The ratio of HCl and CO2 is 2 to 1. So the number of mole of CO2 is also divided by 2, which is 0.00125. We know the volume that is produced is the number of mole times 24 dm cube. So dm cube changed back to cm cube is 24,000. So the answer you get is A, 30 cm cube. Question is electroplating. Again, when we deal with electrolysis, I will always write cathode and anode. Anode here, since it have the steel object, according to pancake, positive region is anode. So anode here have copper electrode, which is not the inert electrode. So copper itself will form copper 2+. And then at the cathode here, we have copper ion and hydrogen ion. Of course, we will discharge copper ion because it's less reactive. So it tends to form back copper metal. So that's why we'll coat a layer of copper here. So that says a student make 3 statements. First, the steel object turned reddish brown color. Yes, because the surface is covered by a layer of copper. Number 2, aqueous copper sulfate changed to paler blue color. The blue color based on the concentration of copper. And we found that here we are using copper ion at cathode, but at anode we continuously to produce copper ion. That's why it balances out. The concentration of copper do not change. So no changes in color. Number 3, the copper electrode become thinner. Yes, because copper electrode is an anode. The copper metal is changing to ion, so it is dissolved, then it will become thinner and thinner. So answer is C. Question 11. Concentrated aqueous sodium chloride is electrolyzed using inert electrode. Concentrated. Cathode, anode. Cathode here we have this. Anode here we have this. And since it's concentrated situation, anode will get affected. Group 7 will get discharged. Cathode will be as usual. Hydrogen is lower in the electrochemical series, so we choose hydrogen. Then he says what happened at anode. So we refer back here is this. 11b. 12. Which equation represents the overall reaction of hydrogen-oxygen field? So we know hydrogen-oxygen field, we are using hydrogen gas react with oxygen gas to form water, and meanwhile it produced the energy, so it's just A. Question 13. Water is added to anhydrous copper sulfate in a test tube. The mixture become hot, so it's exothermic. Which type of reaction and reaction pathway diagram apply to this reaction? So exo is like this, not this. Type of reaction is exo, so answer is C. 14. The equation represents the reaction between ethanoic acid and ethanol. Which type of reaction does this show? Reversible reaction. It do not mention its additional neutralization or reduction, so we can only choose D is correct for this. 15. The graph shows the result of adding excess calcium carbonate to HCl at two different temperatures. Only the temperature is changed. Which row describe the reacting particles at 30 degree compared to 50? 30 degree lower temperature, so the frequency of collision is actually lower. Average kinetic energy also lower. Answer is D. If they do not give you the graph, also you know this. 16. Industrially, ammonia is made by Haber process. The equation is shown. The conditions are used this and this situation. Which statement about the condition are correct? Temperature below 450 give a lower rate of reaction. Yes. Temperature low rate of reaction because kinetic energy lower. Temperature below 450 give a lower yield of ammonia. The yield, you need to refer back to this. This is exo. So we know exo means that forward there will release energy. So lower temperature will favor to the right position. So that's why temperature below 450 actually they will have a higher yield of ammonia because it's exo. They prefer lower temperature. Number 3, pressure above 200 give a lower yield of ammonia. Yield for the pressure, we look back. Left hand side have 4 moles, right hand side have 2 moles. So that's why above 200 atmospheric pressure means higher pressure that will favor lower particles. So it will shift to the right. It will also give you a higher yield because it shifts right. So pressure above 200 is too expensive to maintain. Yes, it's very dangerous and it's very hard to maintain this condition. So answer is 1-4. 17. Ethanol is warmed with acidified CmNO4. Which row describe the types of reaction of ethanol and the color change observed? Potassium manganate initially is purple, so after oxidize, it will become colorless. Purple to colorless, and then this is oxidation. Why we say this is oxidation? Because ethanol at this will form carboxylic acid. So from one OH to become COOH. So it's oxidized at the number of oxygen. 18. 2 experiments involve R and S are done. We have 0.1 mole of R and S dissolved completely, but only this amount of R is dissociated, and then here is number of mole of S that is dissociated. Suppose if it's a strong acid, 0.1 mole will dissociate 0.1 mole of acid, but both of them do not reach 0.1, means that both of them are weak acid. 19. Lead sulfate is an insoluble salt. Which process is not used to prepare a pure sample of this salt? Insoluble salt, from beginning to the end, they do not dissolve, so no need crystallize back. Crystallization means after the water is evaporated, it will left the crystal. So this is crystallization. Then for this, drying confirm we need because initially it's mixing with the solution. We need to dry it. Filtration, yes, because we need to separate the solid from the other solution. And then precipitation, yes, because we need to use aqueous plus aqueous to form solid. And this process called precipitation. So only A is wrong. 20. The formula for 2 hydrated salt are shown. What are the value of X and Y? So this thing you need to remember. Copper sulfate. Can you see this shape S? It looks like 5. So this is 5. COCl2, it does not have anything that looks like 5. The C, you can complete it to become 6. So you remember by this to remember S is related with 5, C is related with 6. So answer is B. 21. The properties of element change from left to right across the periodic table. Which statement describe how the properties change across period 3? First, it says it's from gas to solid. Group 1 is alkaline metal. It's impossible to be gases. So very wrong. B. Element change from non-conductor to conductor. Metal is conductor. So group 1 is conductor. C, element change from metal to non-metal. Very correct. And then D, element have decreasing number of electron shell. Same period, they will have same number of electron shell. So answer is just C. 22, which properties decrease down group 7 of the periodic table from chlorine to iodine? Atomic number confirm is wrong. When it's going down, they have more proton, so atomic number confirm increase. Density also wrong. When going down the group, it will be denser and denser. And then part C, reactivity. Reactivity for group 7, they want to attract one electron from outside. So when going down the group, can you see the proton, they want to attract electron. For this is easier. This is slightly more challenging because it's further. This is very, very far. So when it's going down the group, the reactivity actually reduced because it's harder and harder to attract electron. Due to the distance is further, the attraction forces is weaker. Melting point, when it's going down the group, is from gas to liquid to solid. So that's why melting point is increased also. 23, some properties of elements are listed. They have good electrical conductivity, so it's metal. High melting point, also metal. Malleable, metal. They have ions with variable oxidation number, so this is transition element. Which properties are correct for both ion and lithium? Lithium is group 1, so it's not transition element. And then lower melting point for lithium, so answer is 1 and 3. Group 1 have lower melting point compared to other metals and is softer. 24, two statements about noble gas, which is group 8, are listed. Noble gas are reactive. No, they already have full octet or duplet arrangement, so it's not reactive. Monoatomic gas is correct, but this thing is wrong. Noble gas all have full outer shell of electron. Yes. Which statement about noble gas are correct? Both statements are correct. No. Both statements are correct. No. Statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is not correct. D. 25. Which statement about the properties and use of copper is correct? First, it's used in electrical wiring and it is ductile. Yes, because ductile and malleable are characteristic of pure metal. Number 2, it's mixed with tin to make the alloy brass. No. Tin and copper make bronze, not brass. It is used in overhead electrical cables because it has low density. Low density is for aluminium. It is used in takeaway food container because of its resistance to corrosion. This is tin. So answer is only A. 26. Three statements about solid Z are listed. It reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to form hydrogen. React very slow in cold water but quickly in steam. It's good thermal conductor. So this is about the electrochemical series for the metal. We know the arrangement is like this. So for A, this is gold. Gold is very, very low, so it will not react in any situation. Magnesium is here. Potassium is very, very reactive. So even in cold water, it's very reactive. So here this is very slow and impossible group 1. And then silver also here is very, very not reactive. So that's why impossible, very not reactive or very reactive. It's the moderate one, magnesium. 27. 4 metals of these are separately to aqueous solution of their ions. The result shown. M do not react at any situation means that they don't like to form ion. And then the second one that do not form ion with most of the situation is K. And then after that is L. L will react with K and M. And then J, they can react with all situation because J like to become positive charge ion. So that's why from here we can confirm J have the greater tendency to form positive ion than K than others. J is the highest. L is lesser tendency compared to J. K is lesser tendency than L. M is lesser tendency than K also. M is lesser than anyone. So answer is just A. 28. Which process is used to extract of iron from hematite? Hematite is this. Form back Fe, pure ion. This situation, remove of oxygen as reduction. C. 29. Galvanizing prevent iron from rusting. Galvanizing, we are using zinc that is more reactive. So any oxygen or water reach here, zinc will oxidize first instead of ion. Which statement about galvanizing are correct? First, they say galvanizing involves coating of iron with silver. No, it's zinc. Galvanizing prevents oxygen and water from coming into contact with ion. Yes, because zinc will react first. Number 3, galvanizing works because metal coating loses electron more readily than iron. Loses electron means form cation. So yes, they will sacrifice first. So it's C. 30. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are essential elements for improved plant growth. Which mixtures provide all three essential elements? NPK. Here don't have K, here don't have K, here don't have P. So NPK is here. You just see from the element that they contain that you can tell me the answer. 31. Which statement help explain why an increasing amount of carbon dioxide or methane in the atmosphere causes global warming? Number 1, carbon dioxide absorbs thermal energy from the earth. Yes, when earth will reflect back, it's unable to escape from the earth, so it's trapped by carbon dioxide. Number 2, methane does not absorb thermal energy from the sun. No, it actually absorbs. Carbon dioxide does not reflect thermal energy from the sun to the earth. No, because all transparent gases, for example, oxygen, does not reflect thermal energy from sun to the earth. So we cannot use this to define global warming. Number 4, methane reflects thermal energy from the earth back to the earth. Yes, that's why it trapped the energy forever. So answer is B, is more accurate. 32, the exhaust gases from car contain oxides of nitrogen. How are these oxides of nitrogen formed? Nitrogen and oxygen from the air react together at a high temperature in the engine will cause this waste gas produced. For B, it says nitrogen and oxygen from the petrol react. No, it's actually from the air. Nitrogen from the petrol, nothing to do with the petrol, react with oxygen from the air in the catalytic converter. This is to remove the oxides of nitrogen, not form the nitrogen. 33. The structural formula of methyl ethanoate is this. Which compound are structural isomer for methyl ethanoate? Structural isomer means we have 3CH6O2, which means they have the same molecular formula but different display formula. So let's check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. O2. Yes. C3. Yes. H6. Yes. O2. Yes. C3, H8. Here have 8 hydrogen, so no. Answer is just 1 and 2. 34. What is the total number of covalent bond in propane? Prop means 3 carbon and other have 4 hydrogen. Total number of covalent bond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. C. 35. Industrially, ethanol is produced by fermentation or by reaction of ethene with steam. Which are correct? Fermentation use of temperature of 100. No. Fermentation is room temperature. And then it needs the presence of yeast. Yes. Does not need catalyst. No. To form the OH, we need to use the phosphoric acid. And then it's slow reaction, fast reaction. C is perfectly correct. D, it says fermentation is high yield. No, it's very low yield. And then this thing is high yield. So answer is C. B is partially correct, but not fully correct. 36. Some properties of an organic compound J are listed. It is liquid at room temperature, soluble in water, react with calcium carbonate to form carbon dioxide. pH is 3. You can confirm it's acid. 37. The structure of 2 monomers are used to make condensation polymer are shown. So here I have dicarboxylic acid, here I have diol. So we know each carboxylic acid will release out OH and react with this H to form water. And then here we'll directly link with the O because the OHO will remove, and then 3C with one more O. So we see how it goes. Here I have 2CO is correct, but here lack of the O. So it's wrong here. 2CO, 1O, 3C, and 1O. Very perfect. C do not have 2CO, so wrong. Do not have 2CO, so wrong. So answer is just B. 38. Which item of apparatus is used to measure 25 cm cube of aqueous NaOH? So we use pipette. This one don't have scale. These two are too not accurate. So we choose D. 39. Which method is used to obtain copper sulfate crystal from aqueous solution of copper sulfite? So first of all, you need to know which sulfites are insoluble. We have barium sulfites. We know these three sulfites are insoluble. If they say these three sulfites, we of course use filtration, but they are talking about copper sulfite, which is not these three. So it's actually soluble salts. So how soluble salts get from aqueous is just evaporation. 39C. 40. A mixture of 4 different color amino acid is analyzed by paper chromatography. The final chromatogram is shown. It only have 3 spots. Why does the chromatogram only show 3 spots? It says locating agent is not used. No, if you do not use, then it's very hard to see the spot. One of the amino acids is insoluble. If it's insoluble, it will remain at the baseline. So no. C, the solvent front is too near to the top of the paper. Nothing to do with this. It will still show 4 spots usually. D, they say 2 of the amino acids have the same RF value. Yes, so that's why they are on the same position. So that's why you only can see 3 different spots. Answer is D. So this is the end of today's session. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel. If you have any question, please feel free to comment here. See you in next class. Bye-bye.